Now, we've heard from politicians. My first guest tonight like to talk politics, but he's not a politician. He's a policy analyst and a lawyer. Mr. Daniel Bwala joins us from Abuja. Many thanks, Mr. Bwala, for joining us on the program tonight. We've heard from the PDP, we've heard from the APC. This narrative for an average Nigerian that does not belong to any of this divide, what can we make of it anyways?
Well, thank you for having me. I do not think that at this point, which is very sadly what is happening, for us to politicize economic recovery, whether the PDP are passing a strong statement because they want to discredit the effort of the APC, or the APC trying to over-celebrate what is yet to be determined by market forces and employment, and then, of course, the effect to bring food to the doorstep of the common man. However, we all know that the recession that Nigeria got into is not as a result of only one administration. Even some of them who said it is the 16 years maladministration of PDP, close to half of the people in APC were in PDP, so they also played a part at some point. But the most important thing is that, in my opinion, the economic recovery growth plan of the government is working. And the government decided at this point to look at the economy in a holistic manner, try to divert the attention of the people from oil so we can have an economy that is also vibrant in the area of entertainment, in the area of manufacturing, in the area of industry, and other service provision of goods and services. I like what the president said immediately after the report was released, and that is to treat this good news with cautious optimism, because without that, his information managers will run to town with microphones and with trumpets blowing the success story of the government, when in actual fact it is too early to celebrate that. But this is a clear indication that the economic recovery growth plan of the government is on course.
Perhaps for that man who works in a bank, or don't let us go that that elitist. Let's go to the streets of that man whose job is to trade. The tangible is what they will be looking at, the price of commodity in the market. The prices at the range from the last 2 years and now. What do we make of what the perception is? The economic advisor of the president did say yesterday that hope needs to be resuscitated. What do you think that will have on the overall value of our economy?
I think that, you see, we have regulations that will check that, because ours is a society where any price of commodity that goes up doesn't come back unless there's enforcement of some regulations. We have what is called Price Control Act, even though of 1979, and there is an attempt by the National Assembly to amend it so as to bring to effect the realities of the moment. The agencies of government that are tasked with responsibility of enforcing some of these regulations have to be on their toes working. Because take, for example, with this report that we have had, I had a chance to listen to some of the reactions of Nigerians, quite a couple mixed reactions, but a lot of them have admitted and have in fact said that prices of items are beginning to come down in some parts of the country. They mention commodities like rice, they talk about beans, they talk about the report that refineries will be working there for the oil prices will go down and all of that. You see, but without government enforcement of these extant laws, the prices of commodities that have gone up will never come back. And the understanding of the common man, as far as the economy is concerned, it is not statistic, it is not numbers. It is to see the translation of this statistical development into their everyday life. For example, in banking, what causes recession? For example, it is consumer confidence that is going down, which crashes the stock market, which creates unemployment, which restricts the flow of liquidity. And it will, those who are employed, there will be a massive layoff, which is what we have seen in the banking industry. Now that the economy is taking tone, my opinion is that all the relevant agencies of the government tasked with responsibilities of enforcing regulations that will make sure that this effect comes to the common man will have to be on their toes, and especially now with Price Control Act that is enforced.
In political science, opportunity is a very key word. For the ruling party, it's a performance, and the effect is what we have seen. For the opposition party, it's what they call the lack of action, or how quick the ruling party should take effect when they got into power. But what lesson do you think we can learn from what we have seen in the last 2 years?
Actually, I hold the view, and frankly, without prejudice, that the government, the three-pronged administration, the three-pronged proactive action of the administration, which is security and economy, and what is this other third one? The security, the economy, and one other one. The two have been effective except for the economy. And I also believe, because I am not an economist, but we know that some of the federal government policies, especially in relation to Forex, the handling of Forex, has affected manufacturers, has affected importers, has affected the banking industry. In fact, people can't access loans anymore. Even individuals who have their own foreign Forex in the bank cannot have access to it. When it comes to party projection of views, I don't see colors. For a long time, I have maintained this view that I don't see APC or PDP. I just see individuals under umbrellas that fit their interests. And so it does not matter to me that APC is talking or PDP is criticizing. The most important thing for me as a Nigerian is to look at policies of the government that currently has the responsibility in its hand, because to whom much is given, much is expected. So whether the past administration has done so badly, which is the reason we are where we are, this administration has the responsibility of taking the bull by the horn, and that must be reflected in our everyday life.
Before I allow you go, Mr. Bwala, every opportunity for politicians, they always want to take this window now. The economy is getting back, and we're seeing that growth above the line, the negative line. For the political gladiators, as we walk into the 2019 election season, what effect do you think this development will have on the political atmosphere?
Yeah, definitely. If APC as a party will regain its pride of place, which in my humble opinion, a lot of APC governors are going to lose that, because they have not lived up to the expectation of the president in terms of the policy agenda of the government. But if they want to match, then at their all various state levels, they must also implement this reality so that the people at state levels will feel the impact of this administration, or else APC will have no part in 2019. As for PDP, I think that PDP should come up with ideals, with strategy, and not just criticism, because Nigerians are not so daft to have forgotten all of the years that the PDP have been in power, whether or not they manage the resources, because it was obviously reported at that time that the then economic chief or the minister of the federal government advised them what the government needed to do in order to check recession when it comes. So both parties are going to be on their feet, and I predict that APC is going to, at the federal level, is going to be actively involved in reviving a lot of the aspects of our economy, thereby creating that confidence, in the people against 2019. But to be honest, 2019 is up for grab from the presidency right to the local government chair level.
All right, up for grabs. At that point, that we'll rest it at this moment. Mr. Daniel Bwala, policy analyst and member of the Lincoln's Inn in London. Thank you so much for your thoughts there.